Don't mind me. I could just completely lost track of the time because I was looking at the Twitch that. So like when you go on Twitch and you press the buttons to do the thing, what happens is it goes boom. You hit the 3 minute ad and then it counts down for 3 minutes. Well, apparently it didn't count down for 3 minutes this time because I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, this is a real long 3 minutes. What's going on here? So, that's what that was all about. I was actually just sitting here looking at memes, setting them to K, except for the really awful ones. K has seen enough awful things. Also, hi everybody. Thank you for attending. Today we are going to play a game. I'm sure you are familiar with the content or the concept of playing games. It's where there's a program that runs on some sort of computer device that is interactive and presumably fun, unless you're playing Overwatch. And where you do things that achieve a goal, maybe. Who knows? But now you're stuck in here with me, as is the princess. Why'd I got her chained up? What's happening here? How's game sound? Can people hear the game? Let me unmute this. Oh. I'll have you know I've never been stuck in a room with a woman. That's not the sort of thing that happens. Let me double check game sound, make sure that's bouncing. Looks like it's bouncing. We're gonna turn that up a smidge though. Game audio. We'll put that up to like 1. Close. All right. My mic also might be a little spicy. We shall see. Anyway, everybody, ready for game time? Because we're ready for game time. The hero and the princess. I know you're not talking to me.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Also, the preferences. The narrator is Jonathan Sims. And for those of you who have not heard me rant about this before, there's a horror podcast that's excellent, really good, great job landing the plane, called the Magnus Archives. And it's written, and the main character of the story is voiced by Jonathan Sims. He also named the character Jonathan Sims, which one point in the negative column, like, 100 points to Hufflepuff, or however that works. But in addition to being a brilliant writer, he's also a great voice actor, and Magnus Archives 2 is coming up. I'm very excited about that, and yeah, stuff is happening.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? I mean, I'm an American. A little royal blood spilled is probably okay. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? They saw me coming. Viva la resolution. Turn around and leave. That's also a thing.
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to
Doubt.
I mean, maybe some people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
I mean, I do have a black heart. Kind of. Yeah, I'm actually really surprised with how many options we have here.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people.
Birds aren't
You
real.
have to put an end to her.
Have to put an end to her. That's a good one. If you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not going to kill her.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it.
Yeah, birds aren't real and people are the problem. Zykram, the government put that bird in your house to spy on you. It's not a real bird, it's a drone. Yeah, I want specifics. Okay, what happens if she gets out?
The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her because listening to her is in their nature. And when they do, everything will come crashing down.
Okay. Do you have any
Look,
evidence?
you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task?
I don't know, I
This
get lost
far,
really
you
easily.
might as well reach the end of your journey.
Alright, I'm gonna go talk to her. And if she needs killing, then the killing will happen.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed. So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Look, the man who pulls me
You
out
make
will
your
be
way
crowned
the short
King of
path
England.
to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
You'll find the
We're
princess
not going to go
within.
through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I mean, he is a man. So...
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Right. Maybe the narrator is the second princess. Maybe this is an elaborate coup and you've been lied to. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd
Oh,
be
your
rather
cursor
difficult
changes.
to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I don't know, I got some pretty good hand strength.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Hey, yo, what you got on my
there?
40?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
That's because
Don't
she's
get
the one in
fooled.
charge.
It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi, I'm here to kill you. Nah, you can't let him see you coming. I'm going down the stairs. Actually, I'm gonna hit her with the high. That's how you pick up women.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs.
That's a problem.
And lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus
Probably.
on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Funny you should say that. No, no,
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her.
Hi, Ribbon.
Don't
Welcome.
you dare. It's fine.
Oh, wait, no.
We
Hi,
decide
Kay.
What we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Do-do-do-do. Well, Kay, as you can see, I figured out how to press the buttons. I'm not gonna relinquish my weapon. I'm glad. Congratulations. I'm glad you won the costume contest, and you deserve to win the costume contest. Yeah, the wound was wanted to lick it.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
And why is that?
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Nah, you're not
She's
over there
armed.
chained up
Don't
threatening
hesitate
me.
now, it'll be too late. End this.
End this. Statement begins.
You're so close. Don't give up. You've come this far. No, this is a good idea. Maybe we can de-escalate things.
Oh, threatened are we? You poor thing. Drop the knife, and of course we can talk.
I ain't dropping it.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Squint.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Yeah. She's the one who ain't got nowhere to go.
You squint even harder.
Yeah, get her.
So does she. At least nobody's dying right now.
Right.
Going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
This is really an impasse. Because on the one hand, killing someone who is ostensibly innocent. On the other hand, she's asking me to drop my weapon, which I have never done in my life. Like, never. That is not in my nature. Also, I will not be out-squinted. No one can out-squint me. Okay, maybe my niece can out-squint me, but like, that was years ago. Fascinating. Do I get got? Because I know if I drop that thing, I'm going to get got. Yeah. Knife go burr.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
My mans, will you not trim your nails?
Distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured.
She hit me up with the two-piece.
Shit, that hurts. Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
She's giving you to Mike Tyson.
We can still turn this around.
No, you can't. You've committed. Nah. Nah.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted.
You need some skin cream, and some lotion,
You can at least make sure that she won't
and
get
some
out.
nail clippers.
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still
Also,
standing.
I'm proud of her.
Do
Just
you not feel those ruptured organs
giving you
bouncing
them
around
piping
there?
hot skibbity
Princess doesn't do
peps.
our friend in herself. Internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder. Do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
What?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Wow.
Yeah, big wow. For one, okay. Oh wait, okay. So we'll go through our options. Deja vu in another word, another phrase. She's going to kill me again. Not if you're not soft. Have you tried not being soft? Yeah, I already killed her. But first, I will not be bossed around by some man.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us.
Voice of the stubborn.
The only thing that matters is you're harsh enough to that
Now we're
thing.
tripping balls.
That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
We're gonna go back to the cabin. We're just gonna go.
A warning before you go any further.
What?
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
She hasn't lied.
Cheating doesn't sound like her at all.
She
Only
hasn't
it
cheated.
matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
Broadly applicable advice? Are
Princess
you
will
like
even
a
say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't
YouTube
trust her,
influencer?
ever. Are we clear?
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
Yeah, Master Tonberry. With the knife. But she did bip you right up. Just
The cabin is
Pap,
tighter
pappity,
than
pap,
its
pap, pap.
exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
this game is already
The blade
much
is your
more
implement. You'll need it if you want to do
of a
this right.
journey than I expected.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Listen, narrator.
Oh, stop bickering and just
I
get
will
on
not
with
be
it.
gaslit.
Who even cares if there's a mirror?
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Oh, listen, narrator. You can't be this unreliable. So what do we think? Do we go check out the mirror and see how much lotion, precisely how big of a bucket of lotion we need? The mirror's gonna eat us. We're gonna check out the mirror. But first,
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
especially since she got a mean right hook. Who taught her how to do that?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
You're a liar.
This really isn't funny.
Yeah, Princess guy.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Weird. Very, very weird.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
She was threatening last time.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall.
You didn't tell me she was a baddie.
Chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
No one told me she was a tiefling.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
This is very intense. So we can talk to narrator and tell him that he's full of shit. You look different. Spicy. I mean, listen. Again, she hasn't done anything wrong. Maybe it'd be wrong to kill her. So you do remember me. I'm actually here to free you. At which point, she will piece us up again and walk right out of here. We're not going down that road. She will clean my clock so thoroughly I can see my face in it. Absolutely not. We do have some things to unpack. It's time for therapy. Slay the princess. I don't know what happened to you since the last time we met, but I am not fighting a giant demon lady. Listen, you can't be as soft in this world, okay?
What's that? Oh, that whole deja vu situation. Yes, it does seem like you and the princess remember each other, so let's say for a moment that I do believe you. For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time. Are you okay?
Why are you so mad about it, bro?
I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first. Yeah, it's therapy time. Let's go.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I mean, if you're into it, lady. Don't be over there giving me them bedroom eyes.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand
I
around.
mean, if there's consent, this is a whole different thing. Wasn't like Washington State the last place to outlaw consensual dueling?
You look exactly the same.
Soft. Yeah, I know. Nah, all right. Let's tangle ass. Listen, 3 minutes is longer than you usually get. Okay, so be grateful.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count. Oh, we'll make it count, all right. As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood.
Ah!
Unfazed by her expression barely changes as her pistol collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor. You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact. She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Because you're soft.
You don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart.
I mean, you could have told me this before.
You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point?
This is really negotiating a scene.
Don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win. She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win. The only way to win is
Yeah, this is definitely Princess Fight Club.
push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
This is very intense. Also notice...
Little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower.
Notice the cursor has the knife. It got a little blood on it.
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little...
Yeah, she's getting it.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
No shit.
You're on a path in the wood.
You
were
got
so
it.
Damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us.
Yeah, Princess definitely cleaning my clock.
Openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason.
Hey now.
We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other.
Okay.
I don't trust you. Well,
So voice of the hero,
fortunately,
voice of the
time
hunted,
woods to reconsider that.
voice of the stubborn. and narrator
Consider. We're all for
are all the
violence
same.
here. Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
What if I don't agree with the plan? Yeah, I mean, like, I know they're all Jonathan Sims, but I mean, like, from, like, a game perspective, narrator, hero, hunted, stubborn is all you. But why?
You're the chooser. The best we can do is advise. But we can help if you let us. These are just powerless thoughts and opinions.
No,
don't need to
you
let them
can't
drag
just
you
leave.
and the
I gotta
world
go
to
down there and I gotta look her in the eye and figure out what's her problem. And I gotta figure out what's going on with the narrator. And also, I can't get my boots dicked that hard and not come back and have something to say about it. Go into the cabin.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind.
She will lie, she will cheat.
I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us. Something to chase. The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight. More of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall. A pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See, we have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is in there.
She hasn't lied. She hasn't cheated. All she's done is kick ass and take names.
Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. Let me assure you, there's no mirror here. The only thing at the end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. Worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
First, we take the blade.
Take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
What we need is an airstrike.
There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Steel claw.
Step forward and approach the door to the basement. Hesitate before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there. It's right in front of you. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there. You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead.
This is a journey.
Why am I not surprised?
It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters.
Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom. But it will
Nail clippers. Go get a manicure.
The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Go to her, rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down. I want to face you head on. I want an equal. It's so much better that way.
We need to get closer. She needs to see us to give chase. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
Can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
Why?
I really don't like the sound of this.
You think she can't run you down?
We live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Wowzers. Okay, our options are let's talk a bit first. We can always fight when we're done, but I have questions. I want to know what happened after you killed me. It's true, I am very curious. Not down here. If you want me, you'll have to come and get me. No, if we're gonna tangle ass, it's gonna be down here, okay? This is where the octagon is. This is where we're doing it. If you want a good fight, if you really want to see me at my best, we need somewhere with more. No! Why don't you want to be free? Why do you insist on fighting me to the death down here in the dark?
We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of waiting.
You the one
I'm
chained
sick
up to
of
the
you
wall.
standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have.
You can yank that off the wall.
You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Bloody desire in
Knew
her
it.
eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips.
Yeah, she's gonna kill the shit out of me. That's fine.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance
Yeah!
at the cabin as the
It's a lot of
princess,
lady.
singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway. You are walking a dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get it right.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me.
Right?
Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Why am I in your head?
Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Nah, we're going after it.
You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on. Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now. As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. I'll be damned. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we? You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you
The hole,
engage
you
in a
say?
devastating flurry of blows, each of you wielding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. She's slowing down, blood pouring from wounds, splattering at her feet, leaving her weak and unsteady.
More. Keep going. We can't stop now.
You spy an opening. She's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground.
Nothing. These blows are nothing to us.
But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong. Something.
And? Then what happens?
Excuse me? But you do not have the chance to respond. Something has taken her way.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
The narrator's gone too.
Why is it here? Why now? It is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here.
The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going.
I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final. The thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. The thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silent as you reach forward. They're gone, but their mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. Well, yeah, it's a mirror. Look at me. I'm the princess now. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Excuse me? You are at the cabin. Approach the waifu.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Attack the entity, destroy your body. Excuse me. There's so many questions that need answers.
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Confused.
Thoughts without connections. A dim and nascent network. I wish to be more. I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
There's so many questions. Do you know the Muffin Man?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. She is part of me, and part of me is her. You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Absolutely.
I know only that they are.
There's a lot to unpack here. Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel longing, hope, as I witness you.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free. I'm sorry. There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me.
This is getting weird.
I promise that it doesn't hurt.
I promise that it doesn't hurt. That, doubt.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own.
Alexa, re-up my order for holy water.
This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine.
I think that princess would want it to hurt. Yes. Yes.
She will make
I 100% agree.
this hard. Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Okay.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Now, you see, this is where the lying and cheating comes in. We were warned.
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
Can't be dry. How many more pieces of you must I find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
What if I say no?
If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
Wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished.
Well, it's a little too late because I definitely did click wait forever.
What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I
into a box for safekeeping?
Is he gonna turn off the game?
If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage.
Is this game gonna commit seppuku? Is that what's gonna happen?
You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
It commits seppuku! Yes! Yes! 10 out of 10! That's good. That's good. You know how you win the game? You don't play it anymore. Because we're stuck in the look at the screen. We're stuck in the void. And we're going to be in the void forever. And I have saved all of creation. All I have to do is not play the game anymore. So I'm going to click on it and we're going to keep going. Ha, that's really good. Ah! Though you were gone mere moments. I wonder how the dialogue changes the longer you wait. The game was like, listen, I'll be here when you get back. All right, listen. A friend of the stream purchased this for the Halloween spook, and this purchase just for that moment. I'm gonna make sure the game audio. Oh, the game audio is definitely not back. What about now? But just for that, just for the one, we went on a journey that I did not expect. Because Slay the Princess, you walk up, give her the old stabby stab, you do your little dancey dance in the octagon, then you get here. So like 1 point in the win column. Because for one, she fought back and gave you the illest right hook. And two, there's a lot more to the story than just you walk up and you keep. But it was like, I'll be here when you get back. Stop by the 7-Eleven and pick up a pack of Newports for me. Please and thank you. Ha! Excellent.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Yeah, I remember you.
You won't.
Rude. Chapter 1.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path,
The
is a
real
cabin.
Slay the Princess starts here.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
This game is a masterpiece.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Nah. What if I don't want to play ball?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Not to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Gonna go walk in the opposite direction now. Bye.
There won't be a new dawn if the world ends. There'll just be nothing forever.
As God intended.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
It seems like you don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Narrator.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
No one asked you. Turn around again and leave again. Done.
Really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies.
I did not apply to this on Indeed. I did not see the LinkedIn post for this quote-unquote job. No one even gave me, like, the benefits breakdown, like total compensation, nothing. This ain't my job. I didn't sign up for this. I need to go get a manicure and get a bucket of lotion. Good. Maybe everyone should die. It's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. Listen, the entire world didn't ask you to do this. Some asshole did. And, dear narrator, you're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
I had maturity once. It was 2003. Worst 10 minutes of my life. Also, I'm really just, like so far, a solid 30% of this game is just arguing with the narrator. Which I'm fine with, because
Turn around and trek back down the path you came.
ain't no man gonna tell me what to do.
Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you a fated confrontation with the princess.
I mean, the name of the game is Slay the Princess, so, like, you know, does what it says on the tin. Got it.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
There is a Waluigi joke here that is probably some violation of terms of service. So I'm not going to say it here, but Kay is definitely going to get a meme later.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of...
You're just going to keep going, and then you'll be inside the cabin.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick
Ooh,
of
is
light.
it a trick of the light?
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on?
You're tripping balls, my friend.
You're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Dear narrator, I think you're underestimating my capacity for petty. Because I will doom the entire world to like a gray neutral, to an endless seething limbo, just to get on your goddamn nerves.
You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death.
I mean, there's certain death either way. Do you know what kind of right hook the princess got?
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Good. I killed everyone.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
It's the trolley problem. Because if you don't do anything, a bunch of people die. But if you do something, someone else dies. So do you be a murderer to save someone? Yeah. Well, no, I didn't. Because I did not orchestrate everyone's death. Yes, the princess died. But I didn't slay her. My inaction didn't kill anybody. Multi-track drifting. Absolutely.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm committed to being petty for like this loop, so buckle up. Ooh, that's a good bit of petty. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just staying here in the woods forever. Stay in the woods forever. No, I'm sorry. Stay in the woods forever. But I died. The whole world ended. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead, and that the princess has yet to end the world. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. And to answer your question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
Where's Mr. Stubborn?
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows.
Contrarian.
He's like a captive audience.
Oh boy, the brat has arrived.
The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day.
Ah, they saw me coming. They saw me coming.
You mean ruining everyone's day forever? Then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Those walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. You can lie. Okay, heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely going to say... Nope. Nope. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just staying here in the woods forever.
Oh, that's clever. A little boring, though.
I don't need your sass.
Can we really do that? Can we really just do nothing? No.
Yeah, it's definitely bully the narrator time.
Something. Alright, so it's decided. Even if it's boring,
Yeah.
nothing.
Is the game gonna seppuku again?
Congratulations. You continue to waste everyone's time and do nothing. Wait, can you still hear me?
The world ends.
What is that weird feeling? It's like I'm barely even here anymore. Well, it's not nothing, that's for sure. Does that mean we messed up?
No, that means everything's going according to plan. The world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Memory returns. There is a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulations pulse louder as something other comes close. You already know what dwells in the empty spaces. Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. This part wasn't on the State Alchemist exam. Princess got hands. Confusion. Why are you here? I am unfinished. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. It is useless to us if it doesn't bring more gifts. Force pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. A wagging finger. There is only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am our only salvation.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that
Boo!
path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution! Okay, thanks for telling me what to do.
It's all part of the job.
Jerk. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to set the forest alight, at least a little bit.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a
We will
pristine
get to that walk up and stab her ending at some point. There was a key on the
blade
table.
is your implement.
You need the key to open the
if you
door.
want to do this right.
There was a key on the table. Now we're gonna go full bottom and let her mulch us this time.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before
Let it all burn.
sinks in?
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
She definitely gonna hit me with that. Wop bop baloo bop balop bamboo.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
I mean, we don't got any lockpicks or anything, so I don't know how we're gonna
How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
get her out of this. But you know, here we are.
Begging you to stay focused, not riding on it.
Not yet, but there will be.
You're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
I didn't.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
No, I'm really trying to end it all, so let's go.
You're only making this more difficult.
She's just gonna tee you right up.
Thank you. Thank you.
You could just go rip
You're
out your
making
throat
a
with her
huge
teeth.
Mistake.
Let's go.
No, you're doing the right thing.
No, you're not.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains.
That's smart. It's wicked smart. Don't just leave it laying around.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Obviously.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Well, I guess we're just locked in here together.
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Listen, narrator.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom?
Right.
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Let's just get to know each other.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Yeah, that ooh.
Fine.
That did escalate.
For better judgment,
Yikes, don't cut off her hand.
is the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the yielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh.
You
blade is
Flesh.
sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm.
She's so casual about it.
Falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
You might want to get a tourniquet on
She
that.
didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
Princess got hand.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
How about you and me blow this popsicle stick? You're gonna turn your back and then she go get you. She gon' get you.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Hey, narrator, you're getting out of pocket
Wait,
here.
This isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Bro, slay the so much slay the princess.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
She whoops that ass. Let's go.
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Maybe that's not what I want. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your
No.
body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Praying for a manicure.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest.
Yeah.
Flesh and sinew. It is agony. Do you want
Sign
to
me up for
begin?
seconds.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that
What a fucking journey.
into your body.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she?
Ass, because she usually uses them
It
hands.
doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark.
So where do we go from here?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Well, like you died, so like, you know, when chapter 2 happens, you come back.
tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time.
Smitten? Are you in love? Gross. I mean, look,
Beloved. Yes,
Demon
to be
Princess
fair,
has some
your
appeal.
intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got.
The four of us?
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
That makes him a
What can I
villain.
say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving. Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time.
Welcome,
Or at least
Demeter.
version of it.
Demeter Dem.
Died
You're gonna have
last
to
time.
unpack that
It
name
probably
for me.
only happened because you didn't listen to me. You were
Yeah.
the one who did us in.
Right, because you are technically the princess.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone
So
princess
so
was found.
what is the who is the
I
narrator?
beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Look, I've just been hell-bent on ending the world for a while now.
You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
And if I have to save a pretty damsel in order to end the world, that is what
But
I will
in this
do.
purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
The world ended. Good.
Do you
Good
think the
riddance.
people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I mean, 50 of one, or half a dozen of one,
She's a perfect angel.
6 of one, half a... You say potato, I say vodka.
Some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted. I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Ah, Jonathan Sims, you are killing it. Demeter, like the goddess, and Dem, is it Dem? Deme is for shortening it for general nickname purposes. That's fair. But yeah, yeah, let's talk about the princess.
Just be quick about it.
Listen, narrator, you don't boss me around, okay? The only reason she was even able to kill me last time was because I let her. She could barely hold a knife. How is she supposed to end the world?
She just can. Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what I'm saying is true, and that,
Look.
despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
The number of children that told me they could do something
Maybe
just
it's
because.
her beauty that threatens the world.
Listen, voice of the fedora.
It's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Who locked her in the basement? Who locked me in the basement?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
if people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me? Right, because like you built the chain into the wall. You took the princess, dragged her down into a cabin, which isn't even a proper like dungeon for royalty, and then chained her to the wall and then left. And you didn't post a guard or anything, because if you wanted to kill her in like the least getting your hands messy way possible, you lock her up down there, you put a guard up there, and then you wait like a week and the dehydration will get her. But no, none of that. And besides, she tore at her own flesh without flinching. What makes you think that the chain...
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps. It's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
Special.
Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice.
It did feel good.
Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
What woman hurt you? What was her name? Was it Mother? Ah, hilarious. You're being quite cagey. What aren't you telling me, narrator?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
Alexa, play complicated.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
Alright, David has to pee. We're going to pause this, and then we will be right back. Alright. We have returned. What was her name? Was it Mother? No. Narrator. You know, one of these days, I'm going to make my Alexa play joke somewhere. And someone is going to be listening to the stream on speakers in their house. And the Alexa in their house will absolutely start playing a song. And I will die laughing. That's all.
Great. whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
I don't know if the world's waiting for me to save it from ruin.
That's right, you can't stop all of us.
Yeah, you can't stop all of us.
We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
No, we are not.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
She will lie. She will cheat.
Lie, she will cheat. And she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
She will beguile you until she gets your Netflix password, and then she will break up with you.
It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound
Holy
of his
shit.
own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled.
Is it
Must be
after
expressed.
sundown?
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone.
Yo,
wants to
he
hear
got
it.
in right before.
Kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
We're going to the cabin. We go to the chapel, and we're gonna stab some royalty.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
The cabin is different than last time. It's fascinating.
Very different. Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see.
When is a door not a door?
It's a mirror.
Listen, we all want
It'll
Smitten to go.
once we wipe off that layer of grime.
You don't need to feel sexual and or amorous desire to recognize that that man needs to be yeeted into the sun.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know.
A feather?
Gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
A feather? Yeah, slay the Smitten. Put the Smitten down the hole. Chain the Smitten to the wall and leave him down there where he belongs. Enter the basement. Alright, Demon Mom, let's go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Yeah.
Her voice, it's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
Smitten, please drown yourself. There's a toilet off screen.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can can still do right by her without all this
Right.
over-the-top form.
Tell him, Steve Dave.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
Oh,
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
let's get to gnawing.
My love, we're here to
Yikes.
rescue you from
Gross.
your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
Thank God.
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
This is a parasocial relationship.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Ah, you do
Did hear
remember me.
that? She said we're dashing, and she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Look, he probably doesn't get a whole lot of it because he hasn't had a mani-pedi possibly ever.
I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain. You killed us.
That's right, villain.
She made us trying to kill her.
Ah.
Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
You've died before.
Villain.
The entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Can you bip up chemical castration for a voice in your head? Because I would really like that. You killed me last time and it hurt a lot. Why did you do that? You know why she did it. You know what you did. Yeah, we're going to start with the apology. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually. That's because she's perfect.
Dude.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I would not describe a woman who can bite off her own hand without making it squeak and without hesitation as perfect. There's got to be some caterwauling in there. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
That's... No. Okay. But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end? That's awfully accusatory. We're definitely going to ask her.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Listen, Smitten, you shut up.
Isn't that just like
God
our
damn it.
darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Send. Yeah, no, a newspaper. You mean I've played too much Warhammer Darktide because I'm thinking Thunderhammer. Honestly, the world sucks. People are a plague, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all. Yeah, that's what we're going with.
I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a misanthrope.
There's nothing wrong with being a little misanthropic. If you're misanthropic,
I did
that
destroy
just...
the world. I destroyed all of it and made it awful for everyone.
I'd point out that she just admitted to obliterating the entire world, but I guess that wouldn't actually move you. Oh, it moves me. Whatever we do next, we should do our best to not let her out.
But have you seen her angelic face? She should get a pass.
She really just said it with her whole chest.
Destroying the world.
Apparently, yes.
She's like, I sunk your battleship.
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
What if I don't want to cut your arm off? What if I, like, hurting you? Oh my god, Smitten, I'm so done with you. You're so terrible.
Her hands are, we'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Yeah, it's a little weird.
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
With what? She also isn't turning demon, which I'm very disappointed about. Because this isn't what I want. Hot demon mommy? Absolutely.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
What? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Tink. Knife
On
drops
my
in.
watch, villain. My
Villain!
plans contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest,
I really hope Jonathan Sims had a vomit bucket in the booth when he was recording the lines for Smitten.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings.
What?
That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true...
Also, like, maybe get some cream that treats
I'm
eczema.
fine, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Who's gonna lock the door, though?
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a...
Ah, nah, they drew cleavage on her and everything. That's awful.
If only you had a weapon. One slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back. And
The
everyone
pristine
out there would be
blade.
saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
You're a man. You always have a
Who needs
weapon.
a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
My blade, pristine. We leave, and then we have our whole lives to figure out what we want to do next. I'm gonna turn my back, and you're gonna kill the shit out of me.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand.
Gross.
The last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers.
We have each other. We don't need...
Ah, Smitten. Gross. I'm really sad that you got what you wanted.
Actually, look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it.
I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse
love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, the way she
Ugh.
smiles at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks. That's a familiar move.
Right.
Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Let me out.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Romeo and Juliet knew each other for 3 days.
You don't have to go along with
A long
the
weekend.
whim of that delusional
A Labor
voice.
Day weekend.
I'm just along for the ride at this point.
I think we can open it if we try together. She has the strength to, like, rip off her own arm, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech.
Gross.
And
And
the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
I
She's
told
free.
you our love was insurmountable.
she grabs a knife and she stabs you.
You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade. That's right. There's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
Not doing that.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
Fair, narrator.
That's the way out. We're going
We're all
to leave
bastards
together,
here.
Just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin,
Then you die.
and then you step outside.
A happy ending at last.
Are you sure?
We did it. What should we do now?
Wait for the world to end.
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
Eyes. Her eyes are up there.
Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat. of
Feathers. Why do you have feathers? At least there are less creepy hands on her. But you don't get the chance to make that jacket. Nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's going to be okay. Just trust me. We've been here before, and you always get scared.
It feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
Yes. I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and dream for a while? That can't hurt, right?
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side is going to be nice. I'm not going to lie to you like that. Smitten, what just the vilest void, the vilest crypt. It's the end for you, but not for me. I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay. That's true.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
Technically. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. And it is time to return to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
When I found you in the long quiet alone, I was terrified. What if you had decided to let me wither?
I tried. I tried to let you wither.
But your commitment now is final. Your ability to walk the path of mutual annihilation is vanished with your return. If you still wish to obliterate me, it will have to wait until I am complete. Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
So many questions. Wow, they give you a lot of questions. Are you the same being as you were before? How much have you changed?
Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
All right, Ship of Theseus. When this is all done, do you know what you want to do?
With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you.
Right? Bring back Demon Mommy! You have been kinder to me than anyone else I've met. Why?
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
What do you feel about me? These vessels I've been bringing you, I've hurt them.
The vessels are shaped by memories of you, but their impulses are drawn to the edge of the long quiet. To them, you are a gate to something more, and any hurt you've caused them is understood as a fair price for freedom. But they are only thoughts and perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
When I go back, it's as if an invisible wall closes around me. Why can I not do the same things I've done before?
Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread.
Do you have any thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
I feel like I'm building a god.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
How many more vessels doth I need to bring you?
To be an ocean, you have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more perspective. You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you.
What do you want me to bring you next time? Pack of Newports? Maybe a little something from the bottom of the spiral?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
So you don't have any preferences on how you'd like to change or grow?
My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. It is you who guides me down the thin trail of perspective and memory.
So one of these is, you know that at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? But I don't know yet. I'm ready to go back.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Got me! The mirror shatters, and you return to the darkness.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Sweet, I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Viva la revolution!
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
The pristine blade. Build a god on the corpses of the rich. On the one hand, that's appealing, because corpses of the rich. But on the other hand, building a god seems like a lot.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I will take it with.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I
The door
hold
to
the
the
blade.
basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
I see we're Husky again.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
I mean, what do you think you're doing? You're building, combining world-ending princesses together. That's fair. It's almost like making a Megazord of apocalypses, but there's still a lot to unpack here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Again, we're gonna go full bottom and let her just murder the shit out of us. It's gonna be a good time.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Now, is it apocalypses or apocalypsi? Like, is it Greek or is it Latin? I think it's Greek, which would make it apocalypses.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Absolutely.
Focus on the task at hand.
You
She
weren't
got hands.
kidding when you said you were here to kill me. Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat.
Yeah, it's fair.
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat.
She got hands, though.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Here she comes.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face.
She gonna light you up. There's no winning this fist fight. It's Greek. Apocalypses. Thank you.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
There's a kid on the table.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Don't worry, it ends in tears. Oh, wow. What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
I see how it is.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Says the narrator who doesn't give us any detail. How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Why are you sassing me? I'm the only way out.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
No. I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is an entirely different matter.
So, you're not going to share?
Is mommy an honorific?
If you want
Oh.
to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Yep, take it off.
She is. I'm sure of it.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
No.
You know why you're here.
I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. We can get to know each other better while I decide what to do.
That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
She always has a way out. At every second of every encounter.
One
Dear
way or
narrator.
another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't,
Are you threatening me?
I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
Are you threatening me?
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
I see you want to tangle ass. I made my choice. I'm locking her in the basement.
I know you think this is a fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here. It's a chance we'll have to take. We can make this work. If we just stay here and keep watch, no one has to die.
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way.
And here she comes.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. Do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she's bluffing. Either way, she dropped her mask, didn't she? You can still turn around and finish the job.
Oh, that's a relief. I was afraid I'd already committed to not slaying her. No, we're sticking to the plan and locking her down here.
It'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. Oh, it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
I have some idea.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Ignore her and go to sleep, that's an option? And wake up dead? No! So all of this was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent or harmless. You're not even a princess. You're a monster.
I can be innocent and harmless, if I want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
I mean, that's fair.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
A couple of things. One, why would you put the table against the door when the door swang inward? And two, and more importantly, when is a door not a door when it is ajar?
Where is she?
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that
Excuse me?
basement.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working.
Why is she...
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb,
Excuse me?
then your feet, and then your legs.
Excuse me?
You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
She becomes a sleep paralysis demon?
Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
Yeah, take your time with me.
She steps closer.
Yikes.
One silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
Nah, I'll be back.
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The nightmare.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Remember, this is a love story, a tale of self-love, a tale of a confused narrator. She's going to kill me again.
People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh! What if he hears us?
Voice of the paranoid.
That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit!
Poop.
I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've
a world to save, after all.
Guess we're going to the chapel, and we're gonna get married.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
I don't think lying and cheating is her thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
She's been direct every time.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
That a boy. Proceed into the cabin. Smitten knows what he did. No, the problem is he doesn't know what he did. And I hope that he suffers.
The smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time.
Smitten didn't know what he did, and I hope that in the dark, burning pit where he resides, that he still hasn't figured it out yet.
It's just an empty frame. She's already got now, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task awaits, and only you can do it.
Here's the thing. The mirror doesn't exist because the narrator can't see it. And every time you interact with it, it isn't an interaction. The blade has one adjective. All right, we're going. Yeah, it's real in the long quiet, but it's not real here. Going in the basement. We're going full bottom.
We should have taken the knife again. I don't think she's going to take an olive branch. We need something sharper.
Maybe your wits should be sharp, Mr. Paranoid.
You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
We don't need a plan. I'm just going to kill her. Mr. Narrator seems to think I can do it. I don't know why you're all being such pessimists right now. Ooh. Step off the void between the stairs. We'll circle back to that. I'm going to talk to her.
Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talking won't do you any good.
Yeah, you can't be trusted either.
Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway.
Well, too bad. I'm going to talk her to death.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
What if we make friends with the sleep paralysis demon?
As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks, suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right.
Sweet. Deconstructed basement.
She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is?
Right?
No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at in an ordinary basement.
Also, I love the idea of Jonathan Sims arguing with himself and giving himself shit. Hilarious.
We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Me neither, bud.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
I'm gonna go right into the eyes.
You turn to the right. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are.
Hey, lady.
I told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb.
Ah, sleep paralysis, here we come.
Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
This is the end.
No little knife this time. It's almost like you want me to get you.
There has to be a way out of this. Think.
It's too late, bud.
What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Loud as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death.
The narrator acknowledges that you've died before.
Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again.
Oh, wait. Nope. It just means that the narrator recognizes that your body was shutting down, and then Paranoid intervened, and then Paranoid got distracted.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more?
Listen, don't you sass me, other me.
You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart.
What about brain?
Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead, even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why?
Because she's playing.
The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. And how are we supposed to do that? We don't have a weapon. The way out of here isn't nowhere to be seen. That isn't my fault. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, because fighting her isn't an option right now.
Not at all.
Then you should get looking, shouldn't you?
There are a lot of options here. You keep working, Mr. Paranoid. If you want to work together, can you at least turn off this whole organ shutting down situation?
I am what I am. It's not my fault that you can't handle being around me.
To be fair, I've had this exact reaction around women. What good am I to you alive? What do you want from me?
I tried to leave while you suffocated, but that stupid cabin wouldn't let me. So I started to drag your body out with me, and then... well, you died before I could get to the door. And then I was here, and now you're here too. I don't think I can live without you, and dead doesn't count. And as much as I love what we have going on, I have bigger plans than tormenting one poor little creature forever. I want to leave.
And what if I refuse to let you out? What happens then?
We're stuck down here together until you change your mind.
Fair. This is kind of torturous.
A skipped beat as she touches your shoulder and whispers in your ear.
No! Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
Or until your heart finally gives out. And then, when you die, I'll find myself somewhere new. And before too long, you'll be there too. That's how this all works, right? This doesn't end until you let me out. And a lot can happen before then. I'm sure I can get creative.
If you need me alive, then why did you threaten me on the stairs? Why didn't you try being nice to me?
I am being nice. You're alive, aren't you?
Rude.
And you died of fright as soon as you saw me last time. I didn't think keeping you alive was an option. But it looks like that's not a problem anymore. At least not for me. You seem miserable.
Yeah, this is a bad time. I'm not doing any of this. I'm not helping you leave, and I'm not going to try and kill you. So do your worst. We're not going complete bottom, because complete bottom would just let her out. But I don't like her sassing me.
You poor deluded thing. Do you think a single moment of bravery changes you into something you're not? I am what I am, and you're always going to be a coward.
Rude.
She raises a hand to her mask and pulls it down.
Excuse me?
You don't get the chance to see what lies beneath before it envelops you.
Rude.
Like a creeping mold, the complete reality of your existence threads its way through your mind. Birth, death, birth again, decay and bloom, a million stitches from a million microscopic wounds you've inflicted on everyone you've ever met, with every muscle you've moved and every word you've ever spoken.
Let me out.
Your existence hurts them.
Let me out.
A lonely soul in a room by itself, weeping. It lives for 80 years and then it's gone. And then it's there again.
Let me out.
A reprieve. A good life. Love. Children. A steady career. Recognition from your peers. Here one moment. Gone the next. The worms have found their orifices.
Gross.
Let me out.
Diagnosis. It forgets everything it is. Anger, Rage, distance, poverty. The lonely soul is lonely again. Love turns to mockery. It dies. It is reborn. Worse. Lonelier.
Let me out!
No. What's happening to us?
Let me out!
This is all too much. I can't keep going.
You can't keep going? Well, what are you talking about?
I wasn't even supposed to be here today. But he doesn't respond.
Oops, I think I broke you. I'll see you soon. You'll know what to do.
Your body is dead, but you live on. The moment of clarity.
You're on a path in the... Shit! What the hell was that? Who are we? What are we doing?
That was good.
There was a princess, I think. It's all so fuzzy. It hurts when I try to remember. I think we were trying to save the world. You shouldn't know about the princess. At least, not until I... You've already been here, haven't you? I guess. It feels so long ago, almost like we've never left. We have to let her out.
Voice of the broken. Come to Papa.
No, that's the opposite of what you're here to do. You have to slay her. Slay? We decided not to do that, didn't we? Yeah, we're supposed to let her out.
Opportunist.
It's really the only way this works out for us. If you think about it, she's the one with power here. Nobody else can do much of anything. No, we were supposed to keep her trapped there forever. I think. We're supposed to be unfeeling. How many times do I have to tell you?
Voice of the
Snuff out
cold.
your heart?
Excuse me, Root. How many times do I have to tell you to snuff out your heart?
We can't be unfeeling. Not when there's so much fear everywhere. There's nothing for us to do. We've already tried everything. We love her, so we have to set her free.
Hey, you. You were banished to the abyss.
Can we love something that hates us? Can we love something that hurts us?
Yes, we can absolutely love something that hurts us. I know I have.
To be given an ounce of kindness from something so cruel would be more pure than any other love.
That's abuse victim speaking. Smitten to go back to therapy. You gotta go back.
Why are there so many of us? There aren't supposed to be so many of us.
This is bad. You need to get a grip.
No, I
What
don't.
did you let happen? How many times have you been here?
A couple. That's a good question. How many times have you all been here?
Many times. It feels like we've been here forever. It also feels like we've barely been here at all. It doesn't matter.
Listen here, Broken.
Yes, we just have to do what she says, and then everything will be fine.
Don't you go pouring honeyed words into my ear.
It will be for us. She said so.
She said so.
You're part of everything. If things aren't fine for everything, they won't be fine for you. There's no difference between fine and not fine. It just goes on and on.
It goes on and on until it doesn't. But that doesn't make sense. I only remember being here twice before this. And some of you don't seem to remember being here at all. Was I here those other times? Did someone else make the decisions?
What does here even mean if you really think about it? Shut up! You were here.
Ah, they're stubborn.
Every single time.
You did your best, really. There's just a pecking order. And our cruel and beautiful goddess sits atop it, right where she's always belonged.
Smitten, I'm gonna need you to hush up.
You're lucky. What I would give to be able to forget. I've tried to keep them numb, but they're all too soft.
See, I told you it was soft. If I don't remember what I did, then it couldn't have been me that did it. That is an objective falsehood. What if we don't go to the cabin?
We've tried that.
Fair.
It doesn't work.
Fair.
Our hearts always brought us back to her.
I'm gonna need you to go back to therapy.
The deck is stacked.
So many paths, and they're all circles.
Time is a flat circle. We're going to the chapel.
You slowly make your way through the umbral forest, bumping against unseen trees as you grasp through the darkness for a way forward. But eventually, you do make it to the cabin. Or rather, you make it to the place a cabin should have been. Instead, all you find is an empty hill. No, this isn't right. There's a cabin there. There's always supposed to be a cabin there.
Yeah, we're definitely in the dot.
Don't ask him about the mirror.
That is a mirror.
He always says he never says it. He always lies.
Right, that's what I've been saying.
And he always makes it gone. It's exhausting. We must be such a mess, but we never get the chance to fix ourselves. That thing is mocking us. Stay focused. You still have a job to do, and it's best not to be distracted by fraying thoughts. There is no mirror.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
She's still here, buried deep inside the earth. Just walk up the hill. You always give too much space to the others. It's why you always lose.
And what's wrong with giving them space? What if it helps them? What if they need to be heard?
They've been heard too much. It's why they are the way they are.
Exactly. They are delusions, and all that catering to them will do is drag you down to their level. You have to keep moving. Or you could just give up.
Hey, hero. That's not you. Leave that for Broken.
You walk up the hill.
Voice of the therapist, right?
The cabin. The cabin that isn't there. You've got to clean the mirror, haven't you? You've got to see what's in it. Smash it to pieces.
She's on the other side, and we have to let her out. It's the only way we can be free.
It's the only way we can have our thoughts back.
I don't know. It really seems like you're having plenty of thoughts.
Just go around it.
Just do something. It doesn't matter what.
Oh boy, I've been clipped.
Exactly. I'm sure that whatever you settle on, it'll be the best possible decision you could have made.
Hey, there's Opportunist. Proceed.
Proceed? Proceed to where? I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific.
Ain't no one asked you!
That's a new one. Do you think it'll work? Of course it'll work. He always makes the best decisions. It's why he gets to make them.
The fact that Opportunist gets to hang out when the whole world is like this is really fascinating.
interior of the cabin is much the same as the exterior of the cabin. A dull, fuzzy, dreamlike nothing. It's empty and isolating, but there's just enough vague shape and unknown texture to suggest the structure they're in. Wrong and unsettling as it may be.
Aria. That's better.
The only object of note is a pristine blade buried in the dirt floor, a hint of its shining edge teasing through the sediment.
It doesn't look pristine, but, like, we'll get a closer look.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. Take it. It's the only way forward.
Wow. Take the blade. It's the only way forward. You've already tried everything else. Don't you remember? You have to take the blade.
You reach down to take the blade, but as you do, the ground beneath it shifts, the weapon sinking deep into the earth. You lean over the hole and gaze into the abyss. It is so very deep. Deep in the bowels of the earth.
Hey, lady.
Something staring back at you. It fills you with dread. It's her. She's watching us. She never stops watching us.
You really are a coward.
With every word she speaks, the princess in the pit blinks closer.
I was joking when I said that way back when. You know that, right?
Closer.
I was having some fun, and I guess I wanted to see if I could knock you.
And closer.
Watching over me forever? That was so brave.
Closer.
And closer.
But forever is so long. And time erodes everything. Except for me.
Bitch.
I've already taken your will, and you're not getting it back.
I've met women before.
And what's left is for you to take me away and let me out. It'll be so much fun. You and me, together, exploring the world and spreading fear wherever we go. Well, mostly just me. But you'll get to be there too. A trinket that gets to stay with me all the time. Right by my side. A witness.
A witness.
I can even make you a little cage if you want. Gilded and everything.
Now this is just foreplay.
Now don't pause. Don't try to resist. I've already molded you into what I need. And you lost your power so long ago. Don't bother working yourself into a frenzy to get it back.
Do something. Do anything that isn't taking her hand. What are we supposed to do? She took our weapon. This really was a lost cause, wasn't it? You sealed our fate when you refused to kill her. Kill or be killed. Yes, I suppose you're right. Oh well. There's no paralysis anymore. Is it because we've already given her what she wants?
Maybe you've developed an immunity to it over time. You're just an object, a tool. You once were something else a long time ago. But was that something you, or is it just a dull and jaded memory? There is no other ending here. Just take her hand and set her free.
You extend your hand to hers. For all her past cruelties, the moment feels gentle, tender even. I can't believe you just made me say that. I hate you. The motion is difficult at first, as if something still resists your efforts. But then that resistance gives way, and it's over.
Alright, Rita Repulsa, let's get out of here.
And that's the end. I wonder what we're going to do next.
I didn't think I'd be so tired.
The princess, exhausted, slumps.
Why is it so cold?
And the hands take her. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It is time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Yeah. I can finally think again. Almost. That mirror's back.
What does that mean for us? I'm sure it'll be whisked away, just like her.
Maybe it won't be gone. Things are different now, aren't they? Doesn't seem like there's much else to do here.
Finally, we can smash it.
You stop with the smashing.
What do we say, boys? One last vain attempt to look at ourselves.
Yeah. I think I'd like that.
Seems we've got a majority. All that's left is to give it a look.
How very optimistic. Approach the mirror. You step towards the mirror once more. Its secrets remain hidden. Its mysteries remain unresolved. Look upon the horror that you have wrought.
Something tells me that this is the end of the line. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm ready. It feels okay.
Look, if Broken is on board, that's a bad sign.
The fear's gone. I'm done fighting.
Yikes.
My heart feels quiet.
Silver lining.
The game was always going to end. I'll be free of all of you. I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready to sleep.
I'm just ready to be anywhere that isn't here. Boys, it's been an honor.
Gaze into your reflection and see what is there. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
So you're a subatomic particle, got it.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. And yet, contradictions don't exist is a contradiction. We're not going to go there. We got a bunch of questions here. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. I know what it says about you. No, not really. It all seems so distant as soon as I'm near you. I have no opinion one way or the other on the matter. I just want it all to stop. Yes, you're torturing me and I hate it. I think I hate you. I think... I'm gonna remain silent.
You are what brings me meaning. Know that the pain of your journey will subside in due time.
Sounds a lot like death.
But you still have a ways to go before we are done.
Have you figured out what you want?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is filled with sadness, a doll, abandoned to the company of her darkest impulses. She desires only companionship, but the only thing she knows is how to hurt. She will make for a tender heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found her way home.
I am ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Yo, that always gets me.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So this is a good place for us to stop. And I'm definitely playing more of this next week because I gotta know how all this ties together and unfolds. Let me click save. Empty slot. But thank you for going on this journey with me. That was a lot. I'm going to spend the next week thinking about this. That is a trip. Yeah, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Remember that Tuesday we will not be streaming because it is the apex of spooky season. We're taking Halloween off, so make sure that you do spooky things, either outside or indoors. Remember, you don't have to leave your house to perform a ritual. I'm sure Kay has stuff on Wednesday. Please check our Discord for when and where Kay is playing something next. See Kay next Thursday, where Kay will play probably Stardew. It's a Stardew kind of time. Yeah, Circus on Wednesday. I don't know the time. Again, check the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you should be in the Discord. Join the Discord. Discord. But yeah, thank you very much. And I'm gonna simmer for a while. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna turn off all the lights and sit here in darkness and think about this. And I'm gonna need you to know that I'm going to have a hard time not sitting in the dark and playing this all night between now and next week. But I will save it for you. Yeah. The Stardew to Slay the Princess pipeline is very strange. But I'm going to put us on the ending screen and find us someone to raid. Let's see. Glass Cannon? I'll figure it out. But thank you again. And I will see you next week.